Hi everybody, welcome back. So here I am today. I've got some lovely watercolour paper here today and I've just drawn around a circle. Excuse my canary, Peckety, can you hear him giving us a lovely song? So I've done 4 pieces where they are one with a plain circle on, one was a plain circle with a little bit of NeouroGraphic line work on there, another one with a plain circle, and one here with 2 plain circles and just a squiggly line going across the bottom of there. Okay, so I want to work on all 4 of these. I like to work in a series. I never like to work on a single painting because I think that you can end up overworking things and things. So I've got my trusty old baby wipe and a few colours here. I'm using Persian blue and this one is cerulean blue. So I'm working with the blues. I seem to like this colour at the moment. My idea what to do is before I start neuroing this is to spend a little bit of time actually getting these circles really 3D. I think it's important to do that and enjoyable to do that as well. I don't normally do this on watercolour paper. I normally like my paints to sit on top, so I am going to try and blend these a little bit more now. So because this is watercolour paper, add a little bit of paint in here, giving it a lovely I like to use my watercolour paint strong. I don't like them to be pale at the moment, that is. That doesn't mean to say that I won't change my mind. I do like them to be nice and strong and you know, very busy and strong, thick, and you know, making the paint feel very kind of almost like acrylic paint, because eventually I want to move on to acrylic paint because I've decided I'm going to do a large I want to go on to doing some large paintings where onto some large canvases, and that's what my aim is to do with this kind of work. I think it will be lovely. On these smaller ones where I'm not doing them in my sketchbook, I will stick them into the sketchbook afterwards. So here I'm coming in now with the Persian blue just around the bottom to give it that little bit of more of a depth. Coming around the bottom. This is just my method and my way of doing things. I mean, it doesn't mean to say that it's the right way. I break all the rules and I don't care. You know, I've said it before, you know, I don't follow rules. There's principles. I've been to no art schools. I have although I have trained under Louise Fletcher and Nicholas Wilton, so in art, and really enjoyed all that. But I'm hoping to be able, like I've said before, to join this NeouroGraphic and NeouroGraphic rather art and my my art itself together, and I think it would be really stunning work to be able to do that. And it's nice that you're all here to follow the journey as well. I think the more that I make these, spend some time on these boards in the first place, I think it's the nicer that the end picture is going to be. So it is important to try and make these as 3D as possible. Okay, so while I'm doing this, what I'm going to do now is just speed up the camera a little bit, so to get past this part. But you can see what I'm doing. I'm adding water and I'm taking away water here like this, going around here, look, and making this lighter and taking it away with the baby wipe, and yeah. Okay, so it's creating more of a ball and more depth. All right, so I'll come back to you shortly. So I thought I'd come back on again and show you in real time what I'm actually doing and explaining. I'm now connecting the connectors up and taking away all the sharp edges and making these lovely curves now. This is the part that really makes you think, and you know, I don't want to do too many neuro lines over this piece of work because I'm trying to make it more about the ball on the table than about the neuro lines, but I am enjoying doing the neuro lines as I'm going along, and I feel very relaxed tonight, so this is coming on really how I want it to. As well, when you're doing your lines, make sure that the lines are not the same next to each other. You know, that the lines are all different, and that they're interesting, and you know, the sharp edges, you're taking away all sharp edges and you're trying to give it a nice curve instead. It's almost like having geometric shapes and turning them into organic shapes, but your mind is doing it for you. You're not really thinking and planning ahead as how it can be. What I'm aiming for on this particular picture is to try and get these two balls that are back to back, to try and get them to be looking as though they're captured like in net almost, and that's what I'm aiming to do, giving it a little bit more depth by adding these as I'm going along. It's so relaxing, so relaxing to do this. I've still got my other paintings here, so I will be continuing on to those and just drawing on some lines. I'm trying to create a little bit more space than what I normally do, not particularly on this picture but on the other ones, because I don't want to be blocking in all the time, so I want to really enjoy it and add more different kinds of effects of things like splatters and just different kinds of, you know, dark against light. That's what Bob Burridge would say, you know. So yeah, I'm just enjoying this part now. It's so lovely. You know, when you've had a stressful day, although today I haven't had a stressful day, I must say. I've had a nice relaxing day. As I've told you all already, I'm starting a new job on Monday, so I'm trying not to become too stressed, and I'm trying to let it all just flow away and just enjoy the time that I've got at home and not get worked up about it. So yes, very free painting this one, and really enjoying it, really enjoying these lovely neuro lines here, connecting them all together. It's lovely feeling. Your tails, you can do those going off the picture, but if you do create more tails, then obviously you've got to do more connections, and you can make it as detailed or as undetailed as you want. That's where it's all up to you. And the lines to be as thick as you want or as thin as you want. Small connections or large connections, entirely up to you. I do have to say, from experimenting, I'm enjoying doing it more where I put down a picture first, whether it be that one or this one or this one. These are all dry now, and I'm going to be able to use the splatters that I've already done at my advantage, and you can always put more on afterwards, so if you're making, you know, making them different. So yeah, so I shall continue in fast time now, so okay, talk to you again soon. So here we have it, guys. This is just this particular one. Yeah, it's quite nice. I'll just show it you all the way around so you can see it at different angles. It's made it nice and 3D. Looks like the ball is coming forward and that it's rolling or sitting on the table with the shadow going down, the neurographics going through, and because of the splatters, it's making it look, giving it look like it's moving so that it's rolling. So and here it's giving it a bit of Rembrandt lighting, as I call it, so it was like dark against light, which makes it the ball stand right out. So yeah, and inside here I used ibuprofen. You know, it's just liquid hand gel that you like Hibisol that you use in hospitals, and I did that when it was wet and just sprinkled a little bit of that on as well. So yeah, so I'm just going to put on some more, just some fine, a very fine bit of white in this now to give it the highlights a little bit more, and then it will be finished. So and then I'll move on to the next ones. So I'll show you those soon. So. So here I've got my good old faithful little heart-shaped crystal that I love to push this around the page, just because the neuro lines that seems to come from it, they are really wobbly and no line can be the same. So this is my favourite one so far because the nick that you can see just there, it fits in, my pen fits in it perfectly. So I'm just going to place it on the edge of the page, and I'm just going to push it along with my fountain pen and just see where it wants to go. It goes itself quite nicely. A little bit of a stop there. It's going over to that side now. What I like about it is that it's giving me a diagonal painting, which is a good composition, so I'm quite pleased with that. And it makes it that no lines are going to be the same, which is what I'm after. Going across the ball, stopped there. It's very difficult to keep it in that nick, but it's worth it in the end. Whee, it's going right up there, look. Again. It's lovely. Take that off the edge of there. That's nice. I'm quite happy with the Neuro lines on there. I don't want it too complicated because I want to be able to see. Something that's important as well is keep cleaning your hands, because obviously if you're using ink pen as I am, you know, you don't want it to go onto your paper. I do want to sort these out that's coming over the top of the ball. I've got some going over the top of the ball, and I like some going underneath the ball, which shows it's like in a netting, as I've shown you before. I'm going to bring that line out of there as well. And then I'm going to thicken up this line here, so that's going out and across and joining up to that one. Remember when we talked about connections before? This is where it all is connected. Everything's connected. In art, I'm going to go around this a few times here. Coming back over here. I would be able to keep my pen going, but because it's a fountain pen, it makes me go funny if I take it the other way. So it makes it fun. And follow that one round. And already you can see that it's giving it that lovely feel of depth, and like I say, I really like the composition. So I'm going to put it on fast time lapse now and start and fill in the connections. So okay. So continuing on with the next picture, I've added some more circles and neuro lines to this one. This one seems very different to what all the others have seemed. I'm really liking this one. The feeling that it's giving me and the energy I can feel from it almost reminds me of the back of an eye, and all the veins and the lines and everything that belongs in there. I don't know why, but this is the way that it's just making me feel. So I'm just filling in all the connections and adding more neuro lines, making it more interesting and different. The thing is, how I see it, that is, as you're going along, you're adding and subtracting things. If there's something you don't like, you can easily get rid of it with a baby wipe or a different colour over the top. So don't stress. So I'm just going to continue with this, adding more little circles. I'm enjoying these little circles at the moment as well. They feel right. So and I'll talk to you again in a little while.